Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So they've made it clear to me that they're trying to coerce me and they're trying to get me to explain this differently, which is violating my human rights, my constitutional rights, but most importantly, they're trying to interfere with God's work. Okay. They've also overkill by doing that all their mosques, churches, synagogues, all their religious movements are profane and they're fake and they're lying in order to conform. And that's why they're not harassed. That's been made clear by how they're doing it, right? Who, what, when, where, how, why. So anyway, Lamentations 3. I am a man who has seen affliction by the rod of the Lord's wrath. He has driven me away and made me walk in darkness rather than light. Indeed, he has turned his hand against me again and again all day long. He has made my skin and my flesh grow old and has broken my bones. He has besieged me and surrounded me with bitterness and hardship. He has made me dwell in darkness like those long dead. He has walled me in so I cannot escape. He has weighed me down with chains. Even when I call out or cry for help, he shuts out my prayer. He has barred my way with blocks of stone. He has made my paths crooked. Like a bear lying in wait, like a lion lying in hiding, he dragged me from the path and mangled me and left me without help. He drew his bow and made me the target for his arrows. He pierced my heart with arrows from his quiver. I became the laughingstock of all my people. They mock me in song all day long. Okay, so let's stop here for a second. So God blocks his way with stone, right? The stone the builder rejected, right? Where to go, where not to go, the foundation stone, the principles of where to go, where not to go, how to build, how not to build. They rejected, right? The world is building with evil and conformity and theater arts and propaganda and psychology instead of truth. They're building with white supremacy instead of universal truth. Okay, and in its various forms, not just, what people want you to believe white supremacy is limited to, but what it actually is, which is, like every culture you see, is enforcing white supremacy in its own way on a spectrum. He made it so, the author can't escape. Okay, he pierced his hearts with arrows, what have you. They compared God to a lion who is pursuing the author. It has to do with, testing the person. Okay? And again, the churches, the mosques, the synagogues, the world is not supposed to follow the script and try to test me. They're supposed to obey God through me. Okay? Do not tempt the Lord thy God. They identified me as Christ early on. There's no excuse for what they're doing. Okay. He has filled me with bitter herbs and given me gall to drink. He has broken my teeth with gravel. He has trampled me in the dust. I have been deprived of peace. I've forgotten what prosperity is. Oh, I say my splendor is gone, and all that I had hoped from the Lord. I remembered my affliction, my wandering, the bitterness and the gall. I remember them, and my soul is downcast within me. Yet this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion. Therefore I wait for him. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to those who seek him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. It is good for a man to bear the yoke while he was young. Let him sit alone in silence, for the Lord has laid it on him. Let him bury his face in the dust. There may yet be hope. Now, again, to interpret this as, torturing people to make them holy is sick. That is the temple of Satan's argument. Those who take that path are going to cook like you wouldn't believe because they're playing God, because they're not supposed to do that. Nature by itself causes you to have adversity. When you're righteous and everyone else is wicked, or most people are wicked, for example, what happens is you're naturally facing adversity. You're being rejected for, guys who beat women, rape women, organized rapists, rich, greedy scum. You're being rejected by people because the females are racial supremacists or social norm fanatics. You're being rejected for all kinds of despicable reasons. Okay, so there's already that adversity. And Satan means adversary. It's already in nature, in the essence of the adversity in nature already. And in the minds of those who have chosen to rebel against God and their actions. Let him offer his cheek to one who would strike him, and let him be filled with disgrace, for no one is cast off by the Lord forever. Though he brings grief, he will show compassion, so great is his unfailing love. For he does not willingly bring affliction or grief to anyone. to crush underfoot all prisoners in the land, to deny people their rights before the Most High, to deprive them of justice. To deprive them of justice, would not the Lord see such things? Who can speak and have it happen if the Lord has not decreed it? Is it not from the mouth of the Most High that both calamities and good things come? Should the living complain when punished for their sins? Let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord. Let us lift up our hearts and our hands to God in heaven and say, we have sinned and rebelled, and you have not forgiven. Okay, so let's stop for a second here. So it's telling people to not persecute me, right? It's saying, would not the Lord see it? God sees it, and you'll be punished for it. Not that you're supposed to magically do it, and then magically it's okay, because magically, oh my gosh, you're testing people. That's stupid as hell. That is some crazed pedo logic. And it's not a coincidence there's so many child molesters in the church. Okay? They do not know what they are doing at all. At all. The wicked are in deep darkness. They don't know what they're doing. And it goes on to say, we have sinned and rebelled, and you have not forgotten. And you have not forgiven. They're not being forgiven because they keep rebelling. You have covered yourself with anger and pursued us. You have slain without pity. You have covered yourself with a cloud so that no prayer can get through. You have made us scum and refuse among the nations. Why? Because they rebelled. Are they supposed to keep rebelling and quote unquote test me and persecute me? No. They're supposed to stop rebelling and obey God through me. And there's nothing God hates more than arrogant people who are going to wait till I'm gone to pretend that they're right with God, or they pretend they're right with God right now. Very sick, very foolish, very disgraceful. And quite often the gang stalkers point out to me that the English, the Germans, the Jews, the LGBT community, the American rich, they point out certain groups that clearly have people among them that believe that. And I can't tell you people enough, you're wrong. God and I are right, and you're wrong. All our enemies have opened their mouths wide against us. We have suffered terror and pitfalls, ruin and destruction. Streams of tears flow from my eyes because my people are destroyed. And again, right now I'm being fumed, and it changes my voice and my ability to read it in a certain way that's more soothing and what have you. Again, they are wrong. They are some kind of petty theater arts, jealous homosexuals or something, and they have no sense. And of course, then they're allies, and it's gay to team up with gays to persecute the most righteous and try to make him sound gay. That's gayer than hell. They may as well be having gay sex after that. Okay, anyway. My eyes will flow unceasingly without relief until the Lord looks down from heaven and sees. What I see brings grief to my soul because of all the women of my city. Because of all the women of his city, right? Is grief, right? They're shunning me. They worship the devil. They're reproducing evil kids, okay? And people are trying to pretend you should be polite and play stupid about that, and it brings grief. Those who were my enemies without cause hunted me like a bird. It's not a coincidence that the bird is used, right? Royal African Falcon Martial Art Order, and their wicked devils trying to hunt the righteous. They tried to end my life in a pit and threw stones at me. The waters closed over my head, and I thought I was about to perish. I called on your name, Lord, from the depths of the pit. You heard my plea. Do not close your ears to my cry for relief. You came near when I called you, and you said, do not fear. You, Lord, took up my case. You redeemed my life. Lord, you have seen the wrong done to me. Uphold my cause. You have seen the depths of their vengeance, all their plots against me. Lord, you have heard their insults, all their plots against me. What enemies whisper and mutter against me all day long? Look at them sitting or standing. They mock me in their songs. And again, when I say look at them with like a harsh tone at times, I'm not talking to God. I'm talking to the wicked. I'm saying, look, this is what I'm saying to God. You fools. You who try to confuse things to your own detriment and your offspring and your groups. You who have no sense. Lord, you have seen the wrong done to me. Uphold my cause. You have seen the depths of their vengeance, all their plots against me. Okay, did I go for the other one already? See, I called you. Okay. You came near when I called you, and you said, do not fear. You, Lord, took up my case. You redeemed my life. Lord, you have seen the wrong done to me. Uphold my cause. You have seen the depth of their vengeance, all their plots against me. Lord, you have heard their insults, all their plots against me. What enemies whisper and mutter against me all day long. Look at them, sitting or standing. They mock me in their songs. Pay them back what they deserve, Lord, for what their hands have done. Put a veil over their hearts, and may your curse be on them. Pursue them in anger and destroy them from under the heavens of the Lord. So he's saying for them to be destroyed, not for them to be forgiven. That's part of how the Bible ends, right? It ends with they're going to be destroyed. The time for, learn from your mistake and preach the gospel, that time's up. Man, one of the songs is like TLC song. They made this horrible song years back when I was younger called No Scrubs. They knew the system was a blood money system. They knew that they killed Martin Luther King to reinforce their rape cult, rape by deception, blood money system. They knew it's hard for black people to get money. That black people at the time were 13% or so and owned less than 1/2% of the capital. But yet, having sold out to the white Jews and LGBT community that runs Hollywood and the entertainment industry and the token minorities that roll with them, okay, having sold out to them, these people continued to make the song No Scrubs, and they started arguing that people should prefer blood money and wickedness and immature evil behavior that comes from the white power structure that was impressed upon the poor, especially, and people in the urban communities, okay? That she wanted people to be an urban, white culture formed demon, okay, in the black community and otherwise, and to go for trickle down rape by deception, blood money, instead of beauty from within. So the argument was aimed at everyone who's poor, with a special emphasis on me. Because when you try to put me, in the same category as them, is what they're doing, right? These people wouldn't consider dating the less than rich, righteous person, even though that's exactly how you'd expect the righteous person to be. So it's first and foremost a greater injustice for that person. So you're mocking that person with the song, like it says here in Lamentations 3, okay? That they mock me in their songs. Verse 62, when enemies whisper and mutter against me all day long. Verse 63, look at them sitting or standing, they mock me in their songs. It says, pay them back what they deserve, Lord, for what their hands have done. After I pointed this out, did attractive women come scrambling, or did they try to make me gay? Did they try to get me to settle? Okay, how did humanity, what's left of society, what's left of the human race, how did they respond? They responded like rape cult, mass murdering, petty, childish, cowardly demons. So truly, with all my heart, without me saying a word, my actions have said it, my soul has said it. My soul calls to the Lord to pay them back with eternal punishment, because they believed that life is all that matters. They believed that they're cheating me forever and that they're throwing me under the bus and they're mocking me. They believe that they should try to be comfortable in evil and mock me instead of stand firm for what's right and join me in resisting the devil. So they must burn in hell forever, and no bad tree can bear good fruit, and as they will have no redeemer, Isaiah 57, the righteous are taken away, and I'm the last redeemer ever possible, their offspring will burn. If they are evil enough to have offspring, two evil people coming together, evil enough to have sex in a way that could produce a child, and they're evil enough to bring in a child, okay, then that child is evil. And that child is born in adversity to God, and in the spirit of adversity to God, and is cultivating adversity to God. So it too must burn. And if it scrambles with all of its heart to be righteous to the best of its ability, I will consider blotting out its name in that scenario. But other than that, it must burn. Before you blame God like you usually do, like the worms you are, consider your part. God made the system fair. For generations you've rebelled, you've cultivated and formed. For generations you keep building on evil. So what must be done with your evil work? It says in the Bible, your Bible, that the Son of Man came to destroy the devil's work. It said the reason the Son of Man came was to destroy the devil's work. In Luke, I believe it says, I came to bring a fire. In Matthew, I came to bring a sword. So what should be done with the devil's work? What do you think?